Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Ashwagat, Mysore. So today we will see one of the yogas called as the VATAROGA yoga. Vata means airiness, that is windy problems. Roga, diseases. Yoga, combination. So VATAROGA yoga. So the main planets to understand Vataroga. Vataroga means rheumatoid arthritis. The main problem of Vataroga is rheumatoid arthritis, which happens with your joints. So these joint pains will unnecessarily cause a lot of discomfort with regard to mobility and with regard to so normal lifestyle will get hampered. So let us understand why it comes and how it gets established in a chart. Giving examples, so the factor is that Jupiter should be in the ascendant or with the ascendant lord or even aspecting the ascendant. So the aspect of the ascendant will be taken as a minor factor. With the ascendant lord is a medium factor, and if it is in the ascendant, it's a major factor. That is how we classify. And Saturn in the seventh house, or with the seventh lord, or is aspecting the seventh house. So again, classification is this is number 3, this is number 2, and this is number 1. Seventh house is number 1. That is staying in the seventh house. Why are these two planets considered? Because Jupiter is for obesity, accumulation of fat in the body, being a little corpulent, so excess body weight due to accumulation of fat. So when Jupiter is in the ascendant itself, this particular problem will be very prominently seen in the horoscope. The native will start accumulating fat and weight. So weight also is another problem on the joints, which can give another problem, which can also be called as osteoarthritis. So let us not go into this one because we need another planet here which will make it dry. So here we are now talking about more windy, that is a corpulent body with a lot of other difficulties, which is because the person is not exercising, is not in a daily routine which is pushing out all that is what not required for the person. So the accumulation starts. When the accumulation starts, he will be going through difficulties of digestion. Digestive disorders will be there. So when I am talking about digestive disorders, I cannot simply restrict the placement of Jupiter to the first house. I need to put that particular planet in some other places also, because the digestive juices or the stomach is represented by the fifth house, Udara. So there, if Jupiter is placed, it becomes a problem. So next, I can also take Jupiter along with Rogasthanadipati, the sixth lord, and the ascendant lord. This one combination itself will give a lot of windy problem. That is Jupiter plus the ascendant lord and the sixth lord, Rogasthanadipati, the lord of the house of diseases. Then there can also be a problem if the ascendant lord goes to the 8th house, which is also known as Deha Kashta Yoga. And what is that Deha Kashta Yoga? The yoga that is a combination which can give problems of discomfort to the native due to diseases and other discomforts like lethargy and other acquired emotional problems, psychological problems. But let us now take this particular problem of excessive corpulence, that is body fat. So ascendant lord in the 8th house plus we have Jupiter in the 8th house. This is a negative combination, and this can affect the person to gain body weight which is not required for the person's normal life. And along with that, if there is an aspect of Saturn over it, or if there is an aspect of, there is the Saturn with the seventh lord and aspecting it. So here the importance of Saturn in the seventh house is because it is aspecting the ascendant. So please try to understand, if all this is there and there is no aspect between Jupiter and Saturn and there is no mutual relation between Jupiter and Saturn, the negativity will not be so prominent. It will be, slowly becoming nil. So that means there should be an interaction. There should be an interaction between Jupiter and Saturn. So let us go into some minor examples. So if I take the ascendant lord himself as Jupiter, if I am taking the ascendant house as Sagittarius, and I take the Jupiter's placement, because ascendant lord itself is Jupiter. I don't have to keep it in the ascendant itself. That is a classical example. If I take Jupiter here, it becomes a classical example. Okay, but if I am taking Jupiter in the 8th house, okay, along with Saturn in the 2nd house, or if I take Saturn in the 7th house, who is aspecting the ascendant. Now, there is no relationship between Saturn and Jupiter if I take these 2 points. Not much of a relation. Jupiter is exalted, well placed. These people are all having Raja Yoga. This is a Raja Yoga. Lagnadipati getting exalted is a Raja Yoga. He will be good in many things. Doesn't mean that people who are suffering with rheumatoid arthritis are not rich and famous. They will have done their work and they will be very good in their own skills. We are not going there now. So the point here in the medical astrology field is that we should stick to the even benefics can give us problems like diseases. This is what we need to understand in medical astrology. So here, Jupiter being the ascendant lord in the 8th house, giving rise to what we call as Deha Kashta Yoga. And if, because there is Saturn which is aspecting the ascendant, itself, there is a very strong possibility of a person getting lot of windy problems and also problem of joints. Let us take another example. So I will take the ascendant as Leo. So taking the ascendant as Leo, and I will place Jupiter in the Lagna. I will take the classical example here and Saturn here in the 7th house. So fantastic Raja Yoga with the 5th Lord Jupiter in the ascendant, with the Saturn being the 7th Lord. The 5th Lord and the 7th Lord seeing each other gives rise to an excellent Raja Yoga. But keep in mind, Saturn is also the 6th Lord, being the Makarasthanadipati, that is the Lord of Capricorn, and Jupiter is also the 8th Lord, being the Lord of Pisces. And now think, here it is the 8th Lord, and here it is the 6th Lord, and they both are seeing each other, and it is associated with the ascendant. 100% there will be problem of windy problems and joint pains if this person, see, this condition is very important, if this person does not take the remedy of daily strict routine. There should be a very good routine, only then this person can come out of the problems. And if along with this we have the factor of Chandala, Rahu. So if there is a Guru Chandala Yoga, if these two fellows are close by, let us say around 7 degrees between each other or 6 degrees between each other, and here also we are having less than 10 degrees, of distance between Ketu and Saturn. This is a very tough combination for this particular health. So same thing, if I go for another example, I'll go for another example. Let us take any ascendant. I am taking a classical example. I always try to take classical example because it is easier for us to understand. So we have the sixth Lord Jupiter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is Libra and this is Scorpio. Then Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. The Lord of Pisces is sitting in Libra. So the sixth Lord, this is the ascendant, Libra ascendant. Because for North Indian charts, people will suddenly, it doesn't make sense for them. It takes time. But whenever, if you are interested in astrology, only there are two charts. One is the North Indian, one is the South Indian. Learn both the charts. For me, it is easier to explain because I have gone through these type of charts for a number of years. So the Jupiter here in the ascendant is aspected by a debilitated Saturn. This is again a very strong combination for problems. Let us say the Rahu is here and we have Ketu here. Again, problems of windy problems, dryness suddenly. Sometimes, see, what happens is that if there is a lot of obesity and lot of wind and lot of problem, then the thing will be that they will not be able to manage the weight, and that is why the problem is there. And what if it becomes the reverse, that the ascendant and the sign and its signification is very important here. I have not spoken about it because if it is a wet sign, then Dehas Thaulya Yoga and Deha Krishna Yoga. I think that is what we did. That is, body will be very emaciated, very thin, and they don't have any. I don't know whether I have done it. I think I have done that. So Dehasthaulya Yoga is also done where you have overweight and all those things. So this also depends on the base nature of each Rashi. Now this is a watery sign. This is a watery sign. This is a watery sign. We have a watery sign here. Here it is partial. So here it is partial. Here it is windy, I think. So if you see, this is a dry sign. So which is dry, wet, and all those things. I think I have made a clear classification of it in Dehasthaulya Yoga. So we need to understand the basic nature of the Rashi, then the placement of the planet Jupiter, and whether the planet Jupiter is in its friend's house, enemy's house, comfortable or in discomfort, because here it is in discomfort, it is in the enemy's house. And we should see where it is posited in Nakshatra, because if it is sitting in Vishaka Nakshatra here, if it is sitting in Vishaka Nakshatra, it is good because it can gain back some strength. So all this has to be seen to understand VATAROGA Yoga, and the best remedies for VATAROGA Yoga are good diet, follow good diet, most important, chew your food. Number 3, have good physical exercise. Physically be active. Then you will be away from all troubles with regard to joint pains and rheumatoid arthritis and all this. This is a very tough thing. This is called as one of the autoimmune problems. So tough. So thank you very much for today's class.